Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's session of the 7th Annual Google Camp Conference. My name is Alexandra, and I will be the moderator tech for this session. I'm here to provide virtual support for both you and the presenter during the presentation. Should you have any questions or need assistance with Zoom, you can use the chat icon on the toolbar at the bottom of your screen, search for moderator, and send a direct message to me. I will do my best to provide assistance to resolve your concern. And now to announce this morning's session titled Sous Chef EduProtocol, presented to you by Kristen Morales. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming into the Zoom and joining me and our group for Sous Chef. Alexandra, because as we go through this, can you keep putting the link into the chat for the slideshow? Right, the link for the slideshow is bit.ly/Morales Sous Chef Google Camp. Kind of long, but it says what it is. And you're going to need access to the slideshow for some of the templates we're going to be working on. If I could just quickly get a name and what and where you teach in the chat, I'd like to get a feel for everybody in the audience. So if you can go in the chat, tell me your name and what you teach and where. Okay. Ooh, okay, I got Dana from Ventura. We got Layla Homeschool. Just taking a look at what everybody does. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Math intervention, homeschool teacher. Right. We got some people, instructional assistant. Oh, yeah. Good morning to you too. Just getting a feel for everybody who's in the audience and what they're doing. And I just want to get a feel for where we're at. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide again. Jump on this slideshow, and then as we go through it, there's going to be links for you to follow along. We're going to have an interactive presentation here where you get a chance to be a student and see what it's like to be a sous chef. While we're doing introductions, my name is Kristen Morales. I'm a 26-year high school math teacher. I'm also the tech coach for my high school and a district tech coach. I'm also Riverside County Teacher of the Year for 2022 and California State Teacher of the Year finalist for 2022. So I love teaching. I love using technology and being a tech coach as well as a math teacher. I get to use both. So I want to go ahead and jump right in with the Sous Chef EduProtocol. Now, if you're not familiar with EduProtocols are lesson frames that the template stays the same and then you insert new content. And if you've used Iron Chef, Sous Chef is the math version of Iron Chef. And the big difference is the time frame. With the Iron Chef, it was really like time was of the essence and speed to complete your slide. Whereas in Sous Chef, in math, sometimes kids need a little bit more time to process the information. So there's just work time, and that's left up to you as the teacher. So Sous Chef is like a jigsaw for 4 students where you provide them with a source, some facts to work with, and an image that the student writes. And then each student gets 1 slide. And I usually use groups of 4 because my classroom is set up with groups of 4. Additionally, you give students what's called a secret sauce, like the Iron Chef TV show. There's always a secret ingredient. So when you do a Sous Chef, you plan on including a secret ingredient. Some of my favorite secret ingredients include using Desmos or GeoGebra, some sort of extra image. Your secret sauce could really be something that extends the activity, like something for them to read, a link to explore, could be a tool or a video that you add onto the slide. And then you give your students time to work, and then they present their findings to the class. So each group is going to be jigsawing an idea together, and then they're going to present their ideas to the class, and you guys are going to get to do that too, right? So let me go ahead and show you what's going to happen. Now, we're going to do 2 tasks while we're here. Both of them are kind of at the secondary level. And even if you're not a secondary teacher, I've included special sauce links on the slides so that you can get a little background information on the actual math that's being done. And then also, of course, you have your group members to help you out as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at this task. In just a minute here, I'm going to break you into Zoom breakout rooms. And when you do that, you're going to be in a room with 3 or 4 people. And just like in your classroom, what you would do is you would tell students to make a copy of the slideshow for their group. So once you're into your Zoom breakout room, you'll have one person from the group make a copy using this link up here. It's going to look like this, and you'll just make a copy of the document, and then you'll share it with everybody in your group. And then what's going to happen is if you take a look at the slides themselves, this is all about parallel lines and transversals. Now, Iron Chef and Sous Chef, those are jigsaw activities. So whenever you have a topic in math, you want to jigsaw ideas, what you can do is you can jigsaw it between your group of 4. So one group is going to explore, or one person is going to explore corresponding angles. One person is going to explore same side interior angles. Another person's going to explore alternate interior angles. And one person's going to explore alternate exterior angles. Now, what I do a lot of times for my students is you can put kind of a link to explore. So if you're unfamiliar or need a refresher on what the topic is, I put a link to explore in there. And then what you do with Iron Chef is you find an image, you can create one yourself or just find one on Google Image that represents that idea. And then over here, you type, what are they, right? How are they related to each other? What types of equations could you set up relating alternate interior angles? So you're creating an example of alternate interior angles. And then today's secret sauce is GeoGebra. And I have a link to GeoGebra there that you can explore. And maybe you even, when you're in GeoGebra, maybe you want to use part of that as a screenshot for your image. So every sous chef is going to have an image and a text that you prepare as a group, and then you share out with the class. Now, on the debrief slide, so if you look at my debrief slide, there's a Padlet there. And that's where we today during our session are going to share our ideas with the class. And when you take a look at it, if you click on it, it looks like this. And I'm going to have you guys adding screenshots of your slide or your whole group slideshow to this Padlet, and we're going to be doing task number 1 right now. So I'm going to give you guys about, 5 to 10 minutes work time, and then we'll come back as a group and we'll take a look at the Padlet, and you'll get a chance to debrief to the class. So in person, you can do something like this with your students where you have them post on a Padlet, or you can even create a whole class sous chef Google slideshow so that everybody can see what other groups have created. But a key feature here is the debrief where students present their ideas. So again, I'm going to get you guys about 5 to 10 minutes work time, and then we're going to go ahead and debrief from there. So let me go ahead and get back to where you guys are at. Okay, so we are here. So I'm going to go ahead and make some groups. Hey, Alexandra, can you help me make some groups here?
Of course, you said group of 4, right?
Groups of 4.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's get everybody into a group of 4. And there might be one group of 3. So wait here, let me see. I think I got, are you setting it up? I got my breakout rooms here. So I think we're going to need 5 breakout rooms. I think I got it here. You want me to set it up or do you already have it?
If you have it, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to set up 5 groups. I see we have 19 people here. So I'm going to have a group of 4. One group might have a group of 3, which is fine. And oh, wait, I'm not going to include you. Okay. Okay. So we have 5 rooms. If you need me, go ahead and call me over. I'm going to open up the rooms. And again, make sure that one person in your groups makes a copy of the slideshow for you guys to work on. And then once you have some slides created, post them on the Padlet. Okay, and the Padlet link again is on the original slideshow. So I'm going to open the rooms, and if you need anything, let me know. I might actually be coming over to visit you as well. Alexandra, did you see somebody joined a session?
Yes, somebody joined and I moved them over to a breakout room.
Okay, awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Okay, and then I'm gonna get my breakout rooms. Okay. Send them a message and say, keep working. 1, 2. And your whole slideshow on the
You are muted. Not sure if you're trying
Oh, sorry,
to.
I was trying to get back into the breakout rooms. I got it. I'm just visiting them. We're going to do about another 3 to 5 minutes and then go from there. So I'm just visiting each one.
Okay, sounds good.
Kristen, my group, we're willing to take the role of that troubled group that you have in your classroom that needs extra help.
Ah, okay, cool.
That group.
Were you guys able to post on the Padlet?
Oh, I don't know. We've completed a slide. I just don't know if we posted it.
Yeah.
Team,
Yeah.
did we post it, Team 2, by chance?
Yeah, so work on go ahead and posting that. So let me debrief real quick here. Normally in class, you would just have students debrief to the whole class. And one beauty about Sous Chef is students get a chance to work collaboratively in a group of 4 so they can help each other at their table. But then they break out into the whole class debrief. And the whole class debrief really sets kind of the students at ease because they know that there's going to be other groups that are covering the same topic. So when I'm walking around, helping students, if there is a one group that's really struggling, I can spend more time with that group, right? Because the idea with EduProtocols is you keep using them over and over again throughout the school year. The first time you do it might be a little rough because it's the first time they're doing it, but as you continue to use that same Sous Chef template, students begin to know, okay, here's an activity where it's a 4-person in a group activity. I do my slide, and then as a group, we present our 4 slides to the class. So that's the idea of EduProtocols, is they're lesson frames to use over and over again. And the more you use them, students spend less time with the process and more time with the content. And what I recommend too, I mean, today we only have 45 minutes, but the first time you do a sous chef to get students familiar is do it with something fun and simple. Like my friend Kim Vogie, who's the presenter here, she's got a sous chef, iron chef, it's like an iron chef concept that she has. The first time they do it, they research bands from the 80s. So each student, like one student gets Madonna, one student gets The Clash, one student gets something like that, where it's a fun activity that doesn't have really any math involved in it, but they learn how to do sous chef, right? They learn what the process is like. Another example could be do like a fun one on different animals or different foods so that students learn the process, right? Another thing I want to show you guys before we start presenting, here, I didn't know how many people were going to be in my session. And so that's why I had you guys make a copy and share it with your group. But when I'm teaching my class, I know that I have, 9 groups. So I just want to show you real quick what another way to do it in your class before we debrief is. Here's one that I did when I was doing my circles unit. And the link to this is in the slideshow as well. But you can see what I do is I make a space for group 1, and then below group 1, there are 4 slides. If you sit in group 2, then these 4 slides are for your group. And I just go ahead and I make a section on a single Google slideshow for all of my 9 groups. That way it makes it easier. That way you just give the one slideshow template to your whole class, and then they work on it. And just like a tip is what I do is I'll post that whole slideshow in my LMS, or my school website, wherever they can have access to it. And then right during class, I change the setting from anyone with a link to view to anyone in my school district can edit. I change that at the beginning of class so I can see the edits that are going on with my groups. And then at the end of class, I switch it back to anyone with the link can view, right? That way they have editing rights while they're in class, but only while they're in class. And what's kind of cool about doing it that way is that before I even walk around, I can come over here and let's say, I'm seeing group 9 slides are all empty. And we've been doing the activity for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I can go over to group 9 and I can say, hey, group 9, hey, what's going on here? I can tell who's going to need help that way. So there's an idea. But what I want you guys to do now is I want you guys to do some presenting. So let's get this group. Let's get Allison, Jennifer, and Minnie to share what they came up with. So let's start with this one. Whose slide was this?
Hello, that was my slide.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looked at had to jump right into the secret ingredient going, angles, corresponding angles. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Google, definitely Googled.
Mm-hmm.
It was slowly starting to come back to me, but corresponding angles are angles that form when two parallel lines are intersected. So it's like the same angle with that intersecting line, but on the other line.
Perfect. And I love this. I love the constructing of the meaning. And you notice the secret sauce, I made it to kind of be like a teaching element, because you can see how they're working, right? Let's get our next presenter. Who did this slide right here?
I did that one too.
Okay, all right. Let's hear about same side interior angles.
I really like the secret sauce for this one because I could click on different checkboxes and they'd show me multiple types of interior angles.
Mm-hmm.
So they are angles where they also make 180 degrees, but they're the inside between the two parallel lines.
Mm-hmm. And I like how you said they come up with adding up to 180 degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And perfect, right? And we can talk about academic vocabulary too. Like when a student says that, and I'm like, hey, is there a name for that? Another student might say, well, those are supplementary, right? So with the secret sauce, one thing I love about GeoGebra is I found those links. I didn't create those GeoGebras. I found GeoGebra already made, and I include that. So GeoGebra is a really dynamic, interactive math tool that allows you to visualize dynamic math, not single examples, but as you change it, how do the numbers change? But the same side interior angles always add to 180. So I really like to use some GeoGebra secret sauce. All right, who did this one?
Okay, I did that one.
Mm-hmm.
So the alternate interior angles are the angles on the inside of a transverse line, but opposite from each other. So they actually are the same angle, just opposite of each other. So
Yeah.
I thought that the secret ingredient activity was perfect for visualizing that. And then that diagram right there was very helpful to kind of visualize what the equation would be, that E and D would be equal, F and C would be equal to each other.
Nice. And so what I like what you said about how the students actually are using the links to do some self-exploration, right? So you can teach this when you're new in the unit. They don't need to be masters of the concept. You can add in links to explore or the secret ingredient link for them to kind of support their learning, right? So that was awesome. And then who did this one, the alternate exterior angles?
And then I also did that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much the same concept, but instead of them being on the inside of the transverse line, they're on the outside. So you would have H and A be equal to each other and G and B equal to each other.
Yeah, so perfect. So as you can see, like in a sous chef, with each student, they have some text that they're going to like try to verbalize, not verbalize, but written word, explain what's going on. And they include an image and a secret sauce. Another thing I want to say about Padlet, I'm a longtime Padlet user, so I have the free account with like 50 Padlets on it, but Padlet now costs money, but you can get 3 free Padlets. And if you set it up like this, where each task is going to be a column and you use columns, the columns go on infinitely. So you can just set one up and say, call this like period 1 sous chef, or December 2nd, sous chef, December 3rd, sous chef, December 8th, sous chef, like that. So it's a way to use the free Padlet if to display work. And again, another way to do all of this is to, as I mentioned, do the whole Google slideshow idea. Now, back to our presentation, and thank you presenters, fabulous job. If we had more time, we'd whip around the class and do a whole class presentation. You as a teacher kind of monitor and adjust the time frame depending on what your students need. And that's, again, one of the big differences between sous chef and Iron Chef is there's not really a time limit. When I do this in class, it ends up being, you know, about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to get the build. And then the rest of the class, maybe another 15, 20 minutes to debrief it and to discuss it, right? And then I could ask students, maybe if you want to extend it for homework, you can say, hey, you know, add one of these to your notes or come up with a different angle to create on your own if you want to extend it. Now, due to time limits, I want to just share with you my second task. I don't know if we have time to actually do this task because we have like 9 minutes right here, but I want to just show you what the task is. Remember, sous chef, and there's different templates. I'm going to show you how to get these templates. If you like the one with the fire in the background, if you like this one that's more with the greens and the bread, I'll show you how to get those templates. But another one of my favorite secret sauces is Desmos. And if you haven't been using Desmos, even for lower grades, you can definitely use Desmos as a way to explore how functions work. You can explore it with polygons. And I actually, here, what I did for kind of part of the links is, notice I put a link right here on the front slide. So rather than putting it on the individual slides, I put it right there, and I put a link to Math is Fun. If students want to remember how to, you know, the rules for transforming functions, they can. So that's a strategy you can do as well, is rather than putting, you know, some help links on the individual student sides, you can put it on the top slide there. I also put a little example right here of of what I want. You know, although verbal instructions are great, sometimes students are like, well, I don't get it. Or what do you want me to do? I'm like, oh, well, like on the main slide, see, I had made different graphs using quadratic equations. And then this is a topic where with functions, there's an overarching principle that applies to all functions when you transform them. So another way to think of a jigsaw rather than individual terms like you guys did with the angles, maybe there's an overarching concept and you want them to demonstrate that concept using different examples. So like, for example, one person in the group would do the x squared function and transform it, create everything they're going to do using their secret sauce Desmos, Desmos graphing calculator. So that students would go here to Desmos, they would start building their functions, the parent functions and the transformations. They'd take a screenshot of it and then put their image here. So again, that key element of sous chef is to have some an image, and then here they'll write about it. They'll explain how that transformation of the function caused the graph to go up or down or right or left, right? And you can see, so second person would have absolute value, square root, x cubed. And again, we could go through that same process of debriefing, putting it on the Padlet, or like I said, with the whole class example, have them go through the whole class. So when you're doing your sous chef, that debrief is really important. I want to give you guys some access to some resources and examples. One, just the link to Desmos if you have not been using Desmos graphing calculator or functions or polygons, etc. in Desmos. I urge you to create an account. I have all of my students create a Desmos account and it saves your work for you. You can use it to create things, or it lets students create things in graphs and whatnot in Desmos. GeoGebra, definitely start investigating GeoGebra for math. There's all kinds of dynamic applets already built for all grade levels that you can use for your secret sauce. I also really highly recommend toy theater manipulatives. If you've never seen toy theater manipulatives, these are really cool for secret sauces for all different grade levels. You can do like an area and perimeter explorer or a fraction strip, fraction circles. There's one here that I really like that I'm going to use tomorrow is building cubes when I do cyber sandwich, but maybe you want to put a manipulative in as your secret sauce for them to kind of explore on their own when they're building their slides. Here's the link to the whole class, the Sous Chef sprinkler problem I use in geometry. So you can see how to make a whole Sous Chef for like your whole class. I put this slide in here for you guys. And when you look, I'm going to go back to the actual just this. When you click on this slide in the slideshow and you go up here to the little arrow, it brings up all the Sous Chef. You know what? I just realized I put cyber sandwich in there. I'm going to update that. I should have my Sous Chef slide in there, not cyber sandwich. So I will fix that today. So you have all the templates for Sous Chef. Those are my templates for cyber sandwich. So I'm going to fix that right after this session so you can get a lot of the templates. All of the templates are also on eduprotocols.com. So if you like these templates, you can go to EduProtocols. Last thing, here's another template if you like this template as well. And on the slideshow that when you look at yours, it's down here at the bottom if you like that method. So there's different templates you can use for the way you set it up. Last thing I want to say is, let me come here. If you like what I did, I do present at a lot of conferences, and all my conferences, I put post the links on my bit.ly techie teacher. So if you visit my website, you'll see some other presentations that I did. And last thing I want to do here is see if you guys would like to win a book. I'm good friends with Lisa Nowakowski, who's the author of the Math EduProtocols book. I'm going to put this in the chat. There's a Google form here. And what I'm going to do is take a look at the chat, and I'm going to do like a random number assigner on there. If you want to win a copy of, it's not working for you. Oh, it's outside of my organization form. Fix organization. I will do that right now as well. It's probably only going to Temecula, but I will fix that for you and give it till later today. All it asks is for your name and your cell phone number, and I'll fix the form, and then I'll text you later today. My number's a 951 number. So if you get it, I'll just say it's me, Kristen, and you won, and then you give me your address and I'll mail the book to you. So I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you have any questions, I offer lifetime support. So feel free to reach out to me, follow me on Twitter. I hope you enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed working with you and hope you guys had a great time.